Okay, everyone, welcome back to Breslov Efrat here at Shira David. Oh, wow, beautiful Nate Sminian, beautiful Rika after Davidik. What a place to be! Amazing. We have our Kayyim with our brachas. Dream come true. Anyway, we're going to continue now with Hashem's help with Siyata D'Shmaya, of course. Likutey Halachos, Hilchos Tzizit Halacha Hey, and we're going to do letter Tez Zion 16. We're up to 16. I have to tell you something. I got an interesting email yesterday. After I posted the shir, I got an email from YouTube saying that the content of my shir has to be examined because there's alcohol content in there. So Google has to review it, review the content. I said, "Wow, that's mamish a Purim time." It was great. Baruch Hashem.
On the sound base, they track the sound.
No, I wrote on the thing about wine. Wine is used for kiddush, for birchat hamazon, is for havdalah.
So was that because
It was good, Baruch Hashem. Anyway, just a side thing. It was very cute, Baruch Hashem. They put it on it. We were menatzeach. It's on Baruch Hashem. It's great. Okay, so the Rebbe goes now. We were talking about the wine and birchas hamazon and elevating things. So the Rebbe is going to go on today. Reb Nosson is going to bring us this idea of v'zeh bechinas koshel birchas hamazon. So then, why do we have a kos? Why was it instituted that we should use a kos and have wine when we do our benching? Well, I mean, we don't. Where did it come from? What's the purpose of it? So the Reb Nosson is going to discuss that now. It's a nice thing. We all do it. We all know about it, right? When you have 10 people, right, you pick up a kos of wine. But why do we do that? Why? So the Rebbe says now, Ki anu tzrichin la'alois levarer achilaseinu she'iyah bebechinas mezayna d'nishmasa. We have to elevate. That the whole point of everything we're doing in this world is elevating. We're elevating all of the sparks, all of the low things. We try to elevate them and bring them up on high. So we ate food, right? We ate food, and the food is generally very coarse, right? We ate meat from an animal, right? We ate vegetables that come from the ground. Whatever you ate, whether you're a vegan or you're a pescatarian or you eat meat, whatever you are, whatever, it doesn't matter what you are. You ate something that was not very very high when you started with it. Okay, it could be it was prepared nicely and it looked very nice and it smelled very nice. But again, it's something that comes from very coarse matter. Okay, do we agree on that? Right, a piece of meat, right? Okay.
I don't know what that means, coarse matter, and I mean that was also something God created. So
of course.
And we.
בשביל הכהן זה ממש, לא? כי הכהן כאילו, because the priest, like, all they do is eating for going ניצוצות, no? I mean,
we have to turn the food into mezayna d'nishmasa. We have to turn it into soul food. Food for our soul. There's an interesting, about Baal Shem Tov. The Baal Shem Tov asked the question, why does, if a person, eats. So generally food has nothing to do with the neshama, right? The neshama likes the smell, things of reyach. That's why when we make havdalah, we use the spice, when we use the besamim, right? We use the spices to smell it because the neshama is nena, gets the enjoyment out of smelling. Why? Because at the cheda eitz adas tayvara, going back there, right, on the tree of Adam and Eve, when they ate from that tree, the only sense that wasn't involved in the sin was the sense of smell, right? They didn't say, the Torah doesn't say that they smelled the fruit. They saw it, they touched it, they tasted it, all the things they did, but they did not smell it. So therefore, the sense of smell was never tainted. So that okay. But now the Baal Shem Tov asked the question, why? If the neshama doesn't benefit from food, because it only, like we just mentioned a second ago, it only benefits by something that you can smell. So why, if the person doesn't eat food and he starves, does the neshama leave the body? In other words, if the neshama doesn't gain anything from food, so then why, if the person ceases to eat, he doesn't eat, and he starves himself, why then is the person died and the neshama leaves the guf? The neshama leaves the guf. Why should that be?
It's the guf that died, not the neshama.
I understand, but why should the neshama leave the body? Let's rephrase it. Why should the neshama? Why should it be depending on the guf eating that the neshama stays in the guf? If the guf doesn't eat, the body doesn't eat, then the neshama leaves. You have an interesting question?
He's dead, and it's our responsibility to take care of our body, not his.
No. Again. The question is like this: why, if the neshama doesn't benefit from food, why does if the person is not eating, should the neshama choose to leave? Depending on
He leaves while the person's alive?
No, while he passes away. If the person starves himself, if a person it doesn't have any food, what happens?
And he'll never come back for his yurt.
No, we're not talking
also?
about. No.
No, I know what
You're
you're saying,
thinking
but-
too deep. I'm thinking on a very basic level. Let's do this on a very basic level. Okay? You eat, your neshama is happy, it stays in the body. The person doesn't eat and he starves himself, the neshama leaves. Why? That's the question. So the Baal Shem Tov answers like this, such an amazing thing. He says when we eat, we make a bracha. Right? When we eat, we make a bracha. Right?
Yeah.
The neshama benefits via the bracha. The neshama benefits and it lives via the bracha. The neshama loves the bracha. So when you eat, when we drank I made my bracha, my coffee, my neshama enjoyed the bracha. My guf enjoys the coffee, right? But I'm using it again to be able to teach Torah now, whatever it is. So it's all elevated. We try to elevate things. That's what we try to do. But again, the neshama. So then, if you can only make birchas hanenin, you can only make brachas that on something that you enjoy. If you eat something, right? If you eat a fruit, if you eat something, you make a bracha. But you can't make the bracha unless you ate that thing, right? Unless you eat, you can't make the bracha. So the guf says, so the neshama says, hey, listen, you're not making any brachas for me. I'm not staying with you. Goodbye. And the neshama leaves. That's why the neshama says the Baal Shem Tov would choose to leave. You follow? That's why the neshama would choose to leave, because the guf is not making those brachas. You understand? So here we're saying here now, the whole idea is what?
Not everyone makes.
Also, but then wait a second. So there's a concept that the neshama can leave the body while the person's still alive. There's a concept like that. In other words, the neshama says, "I had it with you," and he leaves, and then the person's left with his nefesh habahamis.
Got a divorce.
Yeah. Unfortunately,
Did he get again?
I don't know.
But you're saying the smell, sense of smell was the only...
Was not tainted.
sense-
Was not tainted. Wasn't tainted
got
at the and exactly. Right? They didn't. You never heard that? You never didn't know that? No, it's interesting, right?
That's why they smell. If you look at the senses that are employed in the retail,
Yeah, we mentioned-
everything's there, but
Not the sense of smell. They didn't smell it. They touched. They looked
Yeah,
at it. They did everything. Right? But they didn't. Yeah. Right? It's an interesting. So the whole idea is of eating is to raise up, to make it into mezayna the nishmasa. We want to take our food, our physical food, and turn it into mazan the nishmasa. What does that mean, mazan nishmasa? In other words, if I eat, and I can then do mitzvahs, I can then learn Torah, I can then say Tehillim, I can do my daf yomi, I can learn, whatever I do, I can do my hizbaydus. Whatever I'm involved in is all part of my avodas Hashem. That's the mazan for the neshama. The neshama benefits via the guf doing whatever mitzvahs that it engages in. Make sense? Anyway, so that's the whole idea. So again, ki anu tzrichin la'alais levarach elaseinu she'iyah bebechinas mezayna v'nishmasa. We have to elevate our food, the coarse food, and turn it into ma'azan the nishmasa. Shezeh zoichen eidei ashir. Then we're zoichen to do that through the song. Again, we're going back to the question was, Eli, today, is why do you use a kos when you do benching? Birchat Hamazon, why do we use the kais? That was the question. In other words, we all do it, we know it. And again, Rav Nosson never introduces new ideas to us. He's just trying to help us understand things that we're already doing. Let's see the beauty behind it and what's behind it. Okay? So now, he says now, Al Kain Ikka Birchas Hamazon Hu Al Yedei Eretz Yisrael. Look at this, the Shir Shalasid, right? The whole idea of Birchas Hamazon, we're talking about Eretz Yisrael. Right now, it's Chemda Taiva Rechava. Right, we talk about Eretz Yisrael. It's all about Eretz Yisrael. We're praising the fruits and the sustenance that we get from Eretz Yisrael. It's all about Eretz Yisrael. K'maisha Kasev Yachalta V'Savata V'Rachtas Hashem Alekecha Al Eretz HaTaiva Asher Nasan Lach. Right, we say that. That's what we say. We bless Hashem specifically for Eretz Yisrael. Ki Eretz Yisrael Hu Al Yedei Koyach Masav. Eretz Yisrael we have through Koyach Masav, through our actions, through our doing, through our Torah observance. And that's what we have to understand that. And Eretz Yisrael strives, and it does best when we're doing what we're supposed to do. It's unbelievable when we do what we're supposed to do. Bechinas Bereshis Bara Elikim. Rabbi Yitzchak, he brings the first Rashi. Oh, David, you were talking the other day importance of Rashi, right? So now Rav Nassim brings in all your honor of David, the first Rashi. Rabbi Yitzchak. Right? Why did Torah have to start off? Right? Remember that Rashi? Why does the Torah have to start off with Bereshit? What was the point? Why couldn't the Torah start off with the first mitzvah? Right? Well, why does the Torah start off with that? So he says. So the answer is because HaKadosh Baruch Hu says, I made the world and I gave it to the Canaanim, the Chitim, and all of these guys. I gave it to them, but they didn't do what they were supposed to do. I took it away from them and I gave it to Eretz Yisrael, to Klal Yisrael, and it's yours now. Right, that was the reason why that's why Rabbi Yitzchak, Rashi brings down Rabbi Yitzchak that he started off the Torah with Bereshis Bara Elikim. Hashem made everything. Hashem gave what He gave it to whom He chose to give it to at that time. But then HaKadosh Baruch Hu took it back from them and gave it to us, and it's ours now. We need someone to go into the UN and read the first Rashi. That's what we need. We need to go into the UN and broadcast this first Rashi. That's all. They don't have to say all those other drushes. This is it. Hashem gave it to you. You're right. You had it. You lost it. Now it's ours. Now get out. That's it. There's no other country in the world, no other country in the world where they have the gall, the audacity to say the things that they say about each other. Is it true? No other country. Will they tell England you can't build here, you can't build here? Will they tell the United States in Washington D.C. you can't build over here? Well, the White House is on occupied territory. Why don't they say that? It's occupied. The Indians owned it. Manhattan, right? What, you're sitting here preaching to us. What? And then you took Manhattan for $22. You stole it. You stole it from them, right? Come on. Baruch Hashem. I'm sorry, I'm very passionate about this. Kol zeh sham b'Torah ayin sham v'vaysham she'eretz Yisrael v'chidush ha'olam la'asid hein b'chinas achas. Eretz Yisrael and this whole idea of chidush ha'olam is really one thing. And you see it, you see the newness, you see how everything is always advancing so beautifully in Eretz Yisrael, despite the government, right? Despite the dysfunctional government that we have here, right? The Eretz Yisrael is flourishing. The people are doing well, Baruch Hashem. They should always continue to do well. And the country is advancing, and it's amazing. You talk to people that haven't been in Eretz Yisrael in a couple of years, and they come in, they're like, they can't believe it. They can't believe the advancements that we have. I mean, it's mind-boggling. Chiddush Olam is the headquarters of Chiddush Olam is right here. And
boom.
Right?
Tunnel under Jerusalem.
Tunnel under Jerusalem, right?
Where'd that come from?
Was that the most beautiful tunnel, right?
A mall in the Zion.
A mall is unbelievable. I might just think that's like poof, right? Chiddush Olam, Mamash. We're experiencing Chiddush Olam here. Unbelievable. Shesham Nisayra Ashir, and here's where the Shir is. That's why we're in Shira David, right? This is the Shira David, right? Song. This is the headquarters of song with our dear Rabbi Rab Shlomo Katz. So Zayin Gesundten Stark, right? He should always have the siyata d'shmaya to give over his songs and his Torah the way that he does amidst Hashem. Shayidei zem is gabim is zayin and nishmasa. Through that we can elevate in the mazah and the nishmasa. Right, that's what we're talking about in Tanya, right? We're learning about it. It's all about the neshama. We have to give more credence to the nefesh, the nefesh halikus, and take away some from the Nefesh HaBahamis, right? We're trying to elevate and make the Nefesh HaBahamis to be a partner, so to say, with the Nefesh Elikus. By doing that, it is a good relationship, because ultimately the Nefesh HaBahamis, the animal soul, wants to serve Hashem also, but it's just a little bit, it strugggis with it. But really it wants to. The same idea we said that when how do you understand that? That in Gittin, right? So if the Bezdin says that someone has to give a get to a lady, right? And then he doesn't want to, so Bezdin will beat him until he says right, Sani. So the question is asked, but wait a second, if the person didn't want to give the get, and only he gave the get to the lady because he was beaten, so that was against his will. So then how does that work? So what is it? The outcome is that really he wants to give it, but he has the nefesh. He really wants to do it.
Rambam says that.
Yeah, exactly. Well, I didn't make it up.
It's not even like a vort.
Yeah, I understand. I'm explaining what we're learning here.
Yeah.
There's one is I'm explaining this.
I know.
So
Strengthening.
No. So in other words, really, his guf, his nefesh habahamis in that case was strong. But really, it wants to do the right thing, but it has to sometimes get beaten a little bit in order to let it shine. And that's what we're saying the other day. When you hold back a little bit, right? When you hold back, you want to eat something and you hold back 5 minutes, you hold back 10 minutes. You're beating up the Nefesh HaBahamis a little bit, so you're weakening him a little bit. All these things are just weakening him a little bit more so that the Neshama can get an edge over the Nefesh Elikus can get his edge over the... You like that idea, David?
Yes.
Okay, Baruch Hashem. And therefore, after we eat, so now we sat down and we ate, right? We washed our hands, we ate our bread, we ate our suda. Now what we have to do is we have to transform this food into maza and nishmasa.
What does that mean?
We have to turn the food into food for our neshamas, for our souls. We have to turn that food into something that the soul can benefit by also. Not that we just want to give the guf the food, the body should have the food, but also the neshama should have some benefit. And therefore we say the blessing. We remind ourselves of Hidden Asylum. We remind ourselves of the brachas of Eretz Yisrael. We remind ourselves, and that the neshama loves when we remind ourselves of the Rabbeinu Shalom and where it came from. Where did the bracha come from? Where did the food come from? Not because I went to this fine restaurant, or I made this. I know how to prepare the food so nicely, and that's why I have it. And I just enjoyed the food. The person's a connoisseur, right? No, he understands that, wait a second, Hashem made this food specifically for me. That means, B'msheshis Yemei Bereshis was already designed, already figured out, and then that I was going to be here today to eat this vegetable. To eat this vegetable. What does it mean to eat this vegetable? So Hashem put in the ground those nutrients, those minerals, into the ground. That Kadosh Baruch Hu made the rain a certain way, so those raindrops would hit those minerals. It's all calculated. All these things were calculated. Those raindrops will hit those, and the sun will shine a certain way that day to go on that thing, to make this thing grow. And then it'll work out that it'll be picked. And it'll go through the whatever, however it gets to the store that I'm going to go to, and I'm going to walk into the store. I'm going to pick that specific vegetable. Amazing, right? Let's think about this, right? I'm going to pick this specific vegetable that was planned for me. Sheishis Yemei Bereshis. It's unbelievable, and I mean, but when we recognize
think about how does I'm going to take only 1 billion of the 7 billion in the world.
Yeah.
Each can have a tomato a day.
Mm-hmm.
What has to happen to have each person a
Unbelievable.
tomato a day?
No, but we're saying a little bit more. You're right, Monica. But we're saying that each tomato was figured out that this person will eat that tomato. Yeah. I won't eat your tomato. You won't eat my tomato, or tomato, whatever. How we like to say it, right? No, it's an unbelievable idea. We're trying to, how do we raise by being cognizant of what's going on around us and recognizing all the food and all the things that we have was mamish given to us by the Rebbeinu Shalom through Alevetzchem the Teiva Rechava. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. The Al came. Anu Baruch and I say is Baruch Al Eretz HaTeiva Shu Eretz Yisrael. The best land in the world. Eretz Yisrael. And that's how we can draw upon us the holiness, the Kadusha of Eretz Yisrael. Because when we recognize when we know that Eretz Yisrael is the Kedusha, has the Kedusha, it's the holiest place in the world, and we recognize that, so then Eretz Yisrael gives back to us. Right, so it's almost like the Yisrusa de Lasata, right? So the Eretz Yisrael up on high comes back and gives us now. It's the Yisrusa de Laela. It's reciprocal, right? I show how beautiful it is, and I recognize that. So Eretz Yisrael comes and gives me its kedusha. I can sense the kedusha. I can sense the kedusha's Eretz Yisrael. Okay, and then I can connect myself with the song that's going to be in the future. That the whole idea of Eretz Yisrael, the whole idea of Mashiach Tzidkenu, of all Jews coming back to Eretz Yisrael, right? The ingathering of the Golas, and all the Jews coming back, and the Chiddush HaOlam, the newness, the Abaya Shlishi that'll be on Har HaBayis the way it's supposed to be. And instead of that stupid building that's standing there, right? Right? All right. In a second, mamash, in an instant, everything will be just changed. But we have to remember that because it's all chiddush olam. Everything can be the same way everything is renewed. That can be any second. We have to remember that.
Did you say why wine? Because I'm not sure I captured that.
Yeah. Why wine? Why?
I don't know. You said we would understand.
Why are we using wine? Because wine is connected to the song. We said that you only have wine. Remember, let's go back. Right? So we said in the Beis HaMikdash, when did the Levium sing their song? While the wine was being poured. While they did the wine libations, the wine was poured. Then the Levium would sing the song. Remember? Do you remember we learned that? You didn't remember? No? Okay. All right. So we have to review. Yeah, we have to review last week's 2 days ago lesson. That's okay. No big deal.
That's all right.
Okay. So then we said that wine has the idea, the property in order to lift my mind up, to raise me up, to recognize Hakadosh Baruch Hu in everything that I have. Right? Wine has that property, or it could pull me down. But here I'm using the wine in the right way. I'm using it for a mitzvah. So if I use it for a mitzvah, right away I'm leaning towards the right way because I'm using this wine. I'm filling the cup up because I'm going to do a mitzvah with it. So mitzvah Hashem, that the fact that my intentions are to do a mitzvah, I'll carry it out, and I'll actually have my mind will be elevated closer to the Rebbeinu Shalom instead of knocked. Okay, and that's why we're using a cup here again by the Kiddush. Why we use the cup of wine by the Kiddush? We use the cup of wine by the Kiddush because again, we finished eating now, and in case I overindulged in my meal, I don't want my guf to have an edge over my neshama. So what do? I give a little more push. I give a push now to the neshama. I give that push to the neshama to recognize that this food that I just ate, I ate this food in order to give me vitality, in order to serve the Rebbeinu Shalom, right? Whatever I have to do. If I have to earn a living in an honest way, following the laws of Chayshah Mishpat, if I'm going to be Zaycha to sit and learn Torah, wonderful. If I'm going to be Zaycha to help an organization or to help my family, whatever I need to do. It's all Avodas Hashem, but I'm recognizing that when I'm doing my day is all part of my Avodas Hashem.
So is wine also required on Passover? Because to me, like for me as one person, that's too much wine. I'll zone out or fall asleep.
Oh, Okay, but again, we're learning now that wine can put you to. Okay, okay, Mordechai. Let's talk about this.
The wine with, 'cause-
Yeah, well, we'll talk about that a little later. Let's talk about it. We went through that. One second, we don't have much time. So through giving the shear, through giving the praise to what's it? Through giving the praise to the Rebbeinu Shalom, through giving the recognition to HaKadosh Baruch Hu. That's the shear, and that's what's lahagbir mezayin the nishmasa. It gives more kayach to the mazon and the nishmasa al mezayin the gufa, and it gives it the edge. The edge is given to the neshama over the guf. Again, recognizing what I'm eating, why am I eating it, and I'm eating it in order to serve the Rebbeinu Shalom, gives the neshama an edge over the guf. We have to get. We say the birchas hamazon ala kois yayin. Why? We don't say shir. We don't say song. We don't praise. We don't sing songs of praise to HaKadosh Baruch Hu, only with wine. So again, I'm going to sing my song. That's why we sing the benching, right? Remember, you ever do that when you were a kid? We sing the benching, right?
I miss singing.
What?
I miss that we don't sing it anymore.
Yeah, yes, but you can, right? That's the song. That's the song. So when you have a song, what do? You have wine. Song goes with wine. Wine, song. Because you can't start the shir without that. Because we want so desperately to raise up the mazon of the neshama, to give the neshama that edge over the guf, in order to always be able to recognize HaKadosh Baruch Hu through the day, using the food that was given to me, that I ate, that I consumed. I consumed this food, but I want to raise it up, that it shouldn't be part of my guf, but it should be part of neshama. When I have my wine and I do it in a way of Kadusha, what does it mean in a way of Kadusha? I'm using it for a mitzvah. This is the idea of what it means to clarify my imagination. In other words, for me to recognize, I was sitting there, I was enjoying the meal, I was indulging in the meal. But I stop and I recognize, wait a second, what am I imagining here? What am I doing? I have to now turn this around and imagine that I'm going to be able to serve Hashem because I just ate this. Fixing my imagination again. So through that a person will merit to have more faith in the Rebbeinu Shalom, and then through that he'll always have more shear and more shear. We have to go right now, right? Okay, let's just do Yud Zayin. It's short, but it's very important. And therefore we learned about this, but he's just reviewing it one more time. When Yaakov Avinu was getting the blessings, when he went to get the blessings from Yitzchak, Rivka sent him, right? So what did he do? He brought Shehevi Matamim Laviv. He brought the beautiful the delicacies that Rivka Imenu prepared. So Yaakov Avinu wanted to raise up, and he wanted Yitzchak Avinu to have this elevation of the mezayna the nishmasa b'chinas reach. What did he do? Al king siv vayove loy yayin vayesh. Yaakov Avinu brought. We never, that's not really. It's known, emphasized in the story. We talk about the matamim. But we don't talk about that Yaakov Avinu brought Yitzchak Avinu wine, and he drank the wine. Right? We know it's there. It's in the pasuk. It's in the psukim. It's not a big deal, right? It's there. But we always make emphasis on the delicacies, on the food. But wait a second. Nosson saying, no, wait a second. Vayovay lo yayin vayest. He brought him wine and he drank it. V'oz daike v'yareach esreach b'gadav. And then he was able to smell the smell of his begadim. Where were these begadim from? Remember we learned? From HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Those are the garments that Hashem made for Adam and Chava. Those were the garments that Rivka Imenu had by Yitzchak Avinu. He put that on, and then Yitzchak Avinu was able to smell the Reach HaGan Eden because those garments came from Gan Eden. Those garments, they had a long trip, they came, Baruch Hashem.
But he had to have the wine first.
He needed the wine. When he had the wine, he was able to smell the reach of Gan Eden. Unbelievable connection. Rav Nosson made that. That's how the reach hatoiv can come again. Anytime we can remind ourselves our purpose and what's our tafkid in life, and to fix the koyach hamedam that makes me always thinking about everything else other than my avodas Hashem. That's what the other side tries to do. It tries to put all ideas in to entice me with all kind of things. But every time I could bring it back and hone it back to right and understand, and that it's all from the Rabbeinu Shalom. Anytime I have wine or anything else, I realize I can then smell the Reach HaGan Eden, because I'll remember Gan Eden, I'll remember the Kisei HaKavod. Okay, Shehu Mezayin and Nishmasa, and that's in the Mezayin and Nishmasa. Thank you, everybody. Now let's go to David and the Tanya. Okay, Shkaya.